Good morning. I'm over here shuffling cards. I'm like, whoa, what do we have in store?
Oh, I know. Dude, I'm feeling this Neptune moving into Pisces. Like, holy cow. I think the emotions are high. I feel like triple Pisces, and I am not a Pisces. So if that says anything about it.
Yeah, I've got a Pisces moon, and I've got
Oh,
Pisces moon in the 10th house.
yikes.
Um, it's funny, any astrologer that ever looks at it, before they even know what I do for a living, they're like, I really hope that you're using your psychic and intuitive abilities in this lifetime. And I'm like, nailed it.
Oh, that's funny. I don't
But
know if
good
I have
morning.
any Pisces in my chart. I actually have no idea. I mainly have like Virgo and Scorpio and Leo in my chart. So I'll have to look and see where it is. But I feel it now. I feel like, woof, that Pisces energy is hitting me this week for sure.
Yeah, I read something this morning online about the moon placement, and it was basically like, you might be agitated with people today. Oh my God, you think it's kind of like this ebb and flow lately, you know? At least for me and my clients and just talking with people in general. I've had so many people in probably the last 5 days say to me, "Oh my God, I could just choke this person." And then they like tell me the story. I'm like, God, it feels like there's a theme here. So, all those that are watching live or the replay, welcome. And maybe you're feeling the same way. Drop in the comments. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, I'd love to hear that. Oh, and Nina says, good morning. I'm a Pisces. So watch out for yourself, Pisces.
Yeah, and that Neptune energy reminds me of like Alice in Wonderland.
Mm.
And it's like you can use that energy to dream and to be creative and to open new doors of possibility, new ways of seeing things. Or you could get sucked into the rabbit hole and go into some place that maybe is not serving your highest and best interest. So that Neptune energy is wonky. And I think that, what are we on? Today's the 11th.
Yes.
I think 2 weeks from now, people are going to be the symbolism I'm seeing is like gripping the sides of their chair and like, what the F is going on? So I would say patience, deep breaths, meditation, because I think the energy is actually going to get really intensified the next few weeks. But what are you picking up on for the energy today and what's coming?
Yeah, I agree. It's funny because I have this Neptune gong here in my office. And when we bought the planet Neptune, it was really just an intuitive purchase, but it's proven to like time and again I mean, it's all about Neptune's about scandal and infectious disease and that dream state and all these things. And so when I heard that Neptune was moving out of Aquarius and into Pisces, and that's like a decades long thing, it's like a long time that this is going on. I was like, oh my God, this Neptune. So yeah, I think, it's kind of fascinating to me because the Sacred Council had said that in the month of March, and this was back in December, I like channeled for each month to kind of look at the year. And they said that there was going to be that the Trump administration energy would rise up this month. And I'm hearing other astrologers say this information. And so I think that's going to be interesting because when you think of that Neptune energy, and I know there's stuff going on with Mars and all these transits and things, my sense is that things are going to come up that make people emotional. And I think it's happening individually for all of us right now. But I also think it's going to be a collective, like if things start to show up or that energy rises back up, I think, and I know that President Biden is speaking to the nation tonight. So I just think, there's a lot of interesting energy going on. So I think it's going to be emotional this month, but I also think that Neptune energy is really about expanding your vision and your psychic abilities. And like you were saying, the Pisces energy is your intuition. So I think even though there's like this emotional energy, I think there's this opening for you to expand your consciousness this month. I'm curious what you think, because it came up in my channeling that this month that there would be some kind of female figure that was going to pass away unexpectedly or something. And I haven't really looked at it. It was kind of like in the notes and I put it out there. But now I'm like, I wonder, I just was curious if you had any hits on that this month, because I don't know where that's coming. I don't have any hits other than that information. So I don't know what that's even about.
Yeah, not specifically about who it's going to be, but when I was doing my live forecast on Monday, I always kind of just sit down and jot down a few things that are coming in. And then as I go live, my team's like, hit her with everything. And then they start like bombarding me with all the channeled information. So they like me doing it live, I guess. It's just part of what I signed up for. But anyway, on Monday, they said that there was going to be a change in leadership. And the way that they're showing it to me right now is like a changing of the guard. So it just looked like political players were going to start kind of like shifting. And I'm like, I want to say more on the video. I don't want us to get kicked off.
No.
But I would say to everybody watching, and I alluded to this Monday, if you're watching mainstream news or media, I want you to start paying closer attention to what is happening energetically and what you're feeling intuitively around the leader of our country, okay? Because I feel like there's going to be something in quick order that's going to shift there. And I will be as bold as to say that the predictions that many of us had around Trump being victorious, winning the election, all that stuff, that's sliding back in. And I'm not saying it's going to be in the traditional way that people might think, but I do feel that he is going to come into power again and actually likely have more power than he did in the official office. Whether you like that, hate that, whatever, the point is to be indifferent and kind of in the middle and neutral and be able to effectively see and communicate both sides of the energy. And so it's not to infuriate anyone, but I do feel like there's going to be potentially two heads of state that are going to be pushing their own agenda, I'll say.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So don't be a Pisces about it, you guys.
Because we know this. Like, if you're emotional about it, like if you are emotional, hearing what Lisa and I are talking about, and you're like, F that, no way, I'm moving out of the country. Like, if you are triggered by it, that's your crap.
Yeah.
So
like, you got to stay out of the narrative. But I tend to agree. I think the energy is moving, and whatever that's going to manifest. And it could be as simple as there's definitely a huge population that feels that he is still their leader. So it doesn't really matter what the official energy looks like. But yeah, it's definitely something's coming. And, you know, we both, Dallisa and I love Joni Patry. We love her. And I don't know if you saw her video yet, Dallisa.
Oh, I did. I watched it.
And I was like, interesting, because my channeled messages were saying that his energy was back. So whether you are anti or pro Trump, I think just don't bring up that emotional Pisces energy and turn into all sorts of drama within yourself. Because again, to remind everyone, this is a galactic, this is so far beyond us. It has nothing to do with just the United States. So don't be caught up in like our political stuff. It's easy to do, but just, you know, just don't get caught up in it and don't be a Pisces about it.
Yeah, I was even watching, I love the Joni Patry Trump video. It's worth it. I think it's like 12 minutes. And I watched the Leo King's live broadcast roughly about, I don't know, 5 to 7 days ago. And he does a lot of broadcasts and live streams. And he basically said that these last 2 weeks of March, basically like don't even listen to what's on the news, because he said that the level of lies that will be told is like nothing we've ever seen. So we'll keep reminding you through our videos and our emails and all that, that it's okay to stay balanced and neutral and in the center. And I'm sure a lot of you and especially the people around all of us that'll be going a little bit cuckoo over some of the stuff that's going to be happening and coming out and the narrative and getting caught up in it, that you're going to need to come back to home base, and we'll give you the reality check and we'll walk you through the energy and what we're seeing. And so just stay close to us. I have to note though, we're getting like all these new members that are popping up on in the comments. It's so fun.
It is so fun. Welcome to all our new YouTube members. We have our own special emojis, whether you're on Buddhist Biohacker or you're on Spirit and Spark TV. And it's fun to see you guys. I love these little emojis. They're so fun and cute. And it's just kind of a fun little thing. So welcome in, you guys. And I'm seeing everybody saying hello too. So welcome in, and lots of.
Oh, I think we may have lost Lisa. She'll be back here in just a second. But yeah, I saw that somebody asked about the spelling of Joni Patry. So we added that in the comments there. But yeah, she's got a really awesome channel. She usually puts out about 3 videos a week, and she talks a lot about the collective energy. She did one on like Rush Limbaugh. She did Donald Trump. Yeah. Hello, welcome back.
So I'm like looking at the comments and I'm scrolling, and it like flipped the screen off. Like, and I was like, oh, that's not good.
It's okay. I just kept rolling with it. But no, we have new members. Yes. And so Buddhist Biohacker's channel has different set of emojis. Spirit and Spark TV has a different set of emojis. So, and it's fun for Lisa and I because we can actually see our names in green. And if you have no idea what we're talking about, on the homepage of our channels on YouTube, next to subscribe, there's a button called Join. And that's just being a patron and a supporter of the YouTube content. And then it unlocks different badges and emojis, which makes the live chat fun.
Yes, it does. It's like it's very entertaining. So, and yeah, look, Hope's already using awareness and shadow work. I love it so much. So what I was saying when I flipped myself off the screen was so many people are here to see Nikki. And I'm so excited to bring her on because she is a psychic medium from the UK. She's really wonderful. I found her YouTube channel, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months ago, and I was really excited to have her on with us. So we will have her on today, which is really exciting, here very soon. So hang tight, and welcome to everybody who is on Nikki's channel and who's coming here to join us today as well. We're so excited to have you here with us.
Absolutely. And we will be looking at the energy of the JonBenet Ramsey case today. Lisa and I have both looked at it independently in the past, but we took a fresh look. And I know Lisa has a story to share about it. And I have a couple of notes, but we'd love to hear from those watching as well in the comments. So do you want to bring on Nikki now, and then we'll do JonBenet after?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Okay.
I think that's
beautiful.
Good. Here, let me run our production, everyone. Hold on. So we are going to bring forward Nikki Allen. She is an acclaimed psychic medium. We're so excited to have her here with us. Welcome.
Hi, girls.
Hi.
That picture you've just put on there is about 10 years old. I'm really going to have to change my photograph. I was jumping at the bit, girls. I was jumping at the bit because what you were saying to Lisa, right? I was going, yes, yes, yes. I don't know if you can see backstage, but last year, just very quickly, sorry, I'm talking from England.
No,
just very quickly, last year I was asked to do predictions in Spirit and Destiny magazine. And a year ago, I said, no matter what happens in the elections, Trump will still win through. And I also said that a female will come into power alongside him. Yes, I just thought I'd say that. So sorry, as you were.
I have chills head to toe for confirmation.
So
it's exactly
saying it.
Yeah, it's exactly what I see. Kamala, I feel, is the one that's going to step in. Trump's going to be the opposition, and they're both going to be in power. I mean, it's just, it's fascinating.
That's really weird. I can't believe that. That's so, it's tingling, exciting. Let's see what happens.
Well, and it's funny too, because in June of last year, I had this very bizarre experience with a mountain goat. It was really weird. And this yes, and it's like the longest story, I guess. Ooh, we have angel numbers. So 44 viewers right now. That's super awesome. I love the angel numbers popping up, which means what we're talking about is super important too. So this goat like appeared out of nowhere, and it was kind of this weird time warp thing, but I got this download of information from this goat. It was so crazy. But anyway, the point is, I got this download that said that in the game of politics in the United States, that a woman was going to come to the forefront in the following year. And that was back in June. So same as you, Nikki and Dallisa. I mean, we're all on the same page. We've all seen the same information.
Wow.
So we don't have to let it kind of happen.
That's incredible. And isn't it amazing how we all just pick up on all of this vibration universally, no matter where we live, no matter where we are, we just pick up the spikes and know what's going to happen. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
We are the new Nostradamus girls.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I love him too, by the way. I have my clients in Seattle. I have it. It's not in this room, so I can't get it because it's so heavy. But they all pitched in about 10 years ago and bought me a bronze statue of Nostradamus holding a crystal ball.
Oh, wow.
I literally have it in my house. Like, he is here with us.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. I just knew that, I sensed that. I'm joking.
Oh my God, Nikki, I just love you. Your energy is like this big burst. Do you have a lot of Gemini in your chart?
Do you know what? I haven't got a clue, darling. All I do know is that my partner is a Pisces and he drives me absolutely crazy. We are supposed to, Virgos and Pisces are supposed to be the perfect connection. Oh my God. The emotional, taking it all in, all of this analytical stuff and not getting things done, and this dreamy state of a fish just blobbing around in a fishbowl. I say to him, Virgo sees you here, and I know that you're going to hit your head on the bowl if you don't do something about that soon. And he just bashes his head against the end of the fishbowl and then says to me, oh dear. And I say, yes, you should have done that ages ago. Drives me insane. I don't know a lot about the astrological chart, to be honest with you. All I know is there's Mercury and Cancer in there. Perhaps there is a bit of Gemini. I have no clue. I'm gonna be honest. The only thing I know is there's certain tarot cards that connect with astrological signs, and that's as far as I know, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. I can't be a guru at everything.
No, I appreciate it. So Nikki, do you mind sharing with us? I'm putting you on the spot here. Mm-hmm. What do you think, even if it's global energy or collective energy, what do you think we have in store for this year?
Do you know what? I actually wrote a fictional book back about 10 years ago when I was in bed for 5 years. And I didn't realise, I thought it was fictional because it seemed so outrageous. And it's a trilogy called Earthwalkers. And it basically was about God deciding whether to keep our planet or not. And to cut a very long story short, in the book 2, I write about this virus that the devil, basically Lucifer rises and starts running around the planet like a lunatic. And he basically has his legions touching, whoever they touch or come near, they catch this virus. And if they're a legion that stands by Lucifer, then they survive. If not, they're dead within 7 days. And I wrote this 10 years ago. I also wrote about, in the first book, The Crisis of the Planet, that Gaia had enough of how we've abused the planet, along with Archangel Ariel. And it was all in fiction. And really, I thought, oh my God, it would have been a bestseller if I'd written it as fact, because everything I wrote was saying about this mass hysteria, if you like, the lack of communication, power struggles changing, all the big chains, all the fat cats suddenly being exposed. And I still think this is going to continue, to be honest with you. I do believe we're going to have a second massive spike to do with the pandemic towards the end of the year. I feel like money crises are going to continue. So it's still, to me, I thought this would be a year of balance, to be honest with you. But I feel like with 222 coming in next year, I feel that's when the balance is going to start. You know, I still feel, you know, Indonesia has been in my mind for a long time. Mm-hmm. Earthquakes and a possible tsunami, and it just feels like everything is still really up in the air. And I feel like people like us, like we're dense human emotion, we are flying high. And, you know, I can see a lot of change with people starting to watch us more on YouTube and connecting with us and asking our advice, because they are just lost in this world of materialism, not knowing what the hell to do. And they're coming to us. And this is our time to fly, because everybody else is sitting perhaps lost, depressed, worried about money, worried about their home. I nearly swore then. I don't give a monkeys. I'm the most happiest I've ever been. Nothing's changed for me, because I always work on positivity. I always work on mindfulness and gratitude. And so when people say, oh, it's really bad, isn't it? I say, no, not really. To be honest, though, I do work from home. So obviously write, and I do all my YouTube stuff from home. So I don't have to go out or suffer any furloughs. But really, I don't have a much connection with anything that's going on out there. I'm just very, very happy. And I feel that if we maintain this as light workers, we attract people in that will get through this a lot easier. Very long answer to a very quick question.
No, I completely understand and back what you're saying. I think also that this will be a year of total transformation. I know Lisa and I have made very similar predictions for this year, but one was that banking and financial institutions were going to go through a huge shift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then the activity around the Ring of Fire really has me on high alert for tsunamis this year.
Yes.
But I think there's going to, there's going to be some natural disasters that end up popping up. And I think some of them are going to be completely unexpected.
Yeah. And a huge loss as well.
Yeah, I agree. And I keep feeling like as things open up and we start to feel relief from the global event, I think we're going to have other global events that start to occur. And I always go back to my buddy Edgar Casey. I love him so much. And, you know, his channelings, even back in the 1940s, talked a lot about high winds, tsunamis, earthquakes in weird places that you would not expect it. He also spoke about the U.S. splitting. And at the time, most people interpret that as a physical split, but I think it could potentially be like the breaking apart of the government here. And so it really, you know, those kinds of things are really starting to surface where it's like, okay, these things are actually starting to manifest now in our real world. So it's going to be, I think as we start to feel relief, we're going to go into a whole other journey.
Absolutely. I think it's like the tower cards. You know, that's how I keep perceiving it as. You know, when you see the tower and everything's just, you know, falling to pieces and everything's chaos, it feels like that. We have to have the tower moment to adjust for a new beginning, which I feel is going to be 2022, 222, the number of balance at the end of the day, harmony, you know. Yeah. And so I can see nothing but continued disruption, chaos, weather disasters. Unfortunately, I can see that. And us trying to help the people that are stuck in the dense energy. I don't know about you, but so many of my spiritual friends going, I feel rubbish today. I feel total crap. What the hell's that about? And I actually did a YouTube video about it. Like, you know, if you're feeling rubbish, don't worry. Because I think sometimes our energy is so sensitive, we accidentally dip into this dense energy that's clinging to the planet at the moment, the fear, the worry, the grieving, and all the rest of it. And it really brings us down. And I get it now and then. I think, wow, I feel really pants. I need to go and do some mindfulness and get to the beach. And, you know, I just feel sorry for the people that are stuck in that dense energy. And this is, you know, why I work so hard in trying to bring people through it. You know, I had the worst journey of my life having 5 years in bed. So I've kind of mastered how to get out of the darkness and into the light. And that sounds a bit cliche, but this is what I feel humanity needs to try and do. They need to start looking at other aspects of living rather than worrying about materialism, worrying about who's running the world, worrying about money and all the rest of it, because it's all just chaos at the moment. It's just literally on a roulette wheel spinning. And nobody knows where the balls are going to go, apart from our scales, of course.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting when I sat down, I know Lisa pulls a lot of cards too. I sat down November, I think, of last year, and I had all my tarot cards out. Yeah. And I said, all right, show me one card that's going to represent 2021. And it was the Tower.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, we are so connected. But then I just can't believe that, because even, do you know what? Even when you mentioned, Lisa, about the the lady that was going to pass, right? I felt, and this was about 2 days ago, I thought there's going to be a really definitive, like really strong A-lister actress that's going to pass.
Wow.
It's going to be like, oh my God, you know, one of the biggies. But I still can't see who it is. You know,
Yeah,
I knew
I just
Michael
got chills.
Jackson, you know, this one, it's going to be a what? Oh my goodness, really quick passing, real shocking one as well. So I felt that as well. I was like, oh my God, get me on. I agree.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Because, yeah, you know what's weird is when I channeled my month by month for 2021, you channel it, and I do a lot of automatic writing. So I wrote it all out and I put it out, and it's kind of done. And then each month I'm pulling that up and kind of looking at the month. And so when I pulled that up, I thought, well, that's kind of a big thing to put out there. Like, that's kind of, they don't always talk about stuff like that, my counsel that I work with. So it was like one of those things where I'm like, wow, this is pretty potent that this information's in here for the month of March. And so I love that you hear it, you feel it too, because there's definitely something. I do see blonde hair for some reason, like lighter hair, but that I don't know.
I do blonde.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's Meryl Streep or Glenn Close, but that type of, you know, that type of actress, that type of notoriety, I can't even say it, notoriety, that, you know, that presence of a strong female, an older female, that's what I'm seeing. Oh my God, I hope they don't. Mind you, you know, at the end of the day, I hope we're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to see any more legends pass, but I've had that feeling for a while as well. And it's funny, we just pick up on the spikes, don't we? The waves of the universe pop into our sensitives and think, that's going to happen. But, you know, I will admit, though, I didn't know when it was. I've just had it on my mind for the last couple of days. So
I'll have to look.
Drops.
Yeah. Well, no, and it reminds me, I'll have to look back through my notes. They told me there were going to be 2 famous females that were going to pass this year unexpectedly. And now I feel like one of these that you two are talking about is one of the 2. Because I think I said in my notes that she had light hair, so somebody asked in the comments, like, is it the queen? And we'll use that as an example for how I'm reading the energy. It actually feels like someone that you're like out of left field, you know, not somebody that maybe is at an advanced age to that level. It feels like somebody that you feel like was taken too soon.
Yes, definitely. Not that you think, they've had a good innings. But funny enough, I thought last year I also predicted that Prince Philip was going to pass. So he's been in hospital. And I was thinking, come on, don't come out. Make me look good.
Oh, God.
You know what's funny is I'm getting like
joking for the royalists. I'm only joking.
Yeah.
But I also did predict. I'm not saying, oh, look how clever I am. It's just amazing how we can connect into the universe, because I did predict as well. Thank God it went in the magazine, that there was going to be a reality show or an interview with Meghan and Harry that was going to just smash to pieces the royal family. And so obviously that happened the last couple of days. So see what happens with that, because the royals aren't very happy over here, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm sure not. Well, and I'm getting a download right now, like while we're talking too, about this woman that might leave. It feels like sudden, like an aneurysm or something. It doesn't feel like an aneurysm or an accidental overdose, or it feels like a quick, and it just feels in the brain or in the heart, like it's a cardiac. I don't know. It doesn't feel like an accident or some kind of dramatic thing. It feels like just all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's a natural killer, basically. She's gone straight away. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Oh, God, I hope we're wrong, though.
I know. Somebody's asking if it's Jennifer Aniston. I don't think so. No,
I don't feel that, do you? I think she's a bit older than that.
Yeah, I do too.
I think she's more like 50s. Jennifer Aniston's in her 40s, isn't she? It doesn't feel like her.
I think she's in her 50s, but I just see her on her commercials doing her workouts and drinking her collagen water. And I'm like, I don't think that's the energy that I'm sensing with this. This doesn't feel like a match.
Collagen water? I want some of that.
I know. She looks so cute. She's got her workout outfit, her ponytail, and she's drinking her water. And I'm like, Man, and my thought was maybe one day I'll have that kind of income and flexible schedule where I can look that cute working out, drinking my collagen water. Like that's, I'll manifest
it.
it.
Right now with my condition, look, this took me about 6 hours to just do this, wash my hair, put some makeup on. No, Jennifer Aniston is lovely, but I would just love to take her down a well and just full speed her fat and lard until she's like a good size 16 or 18. I'm joking.
Oh my God.
I do a collagen water though. Oh my goodness. I love the idea of that. We haven't got that over here. So what do you do? Plump bits up then? Is it like
I mean, if you look like Jennifer Aniston after drinking it, I might go buy a case.
A case? I'm going to invest in a whole well. I'm going to have it supplied to the house permanently.
Man, everybody's commenting. We've got, is it Madonna? Is it a Cameron Diaz? I just don't know. I don't feel any of those.
I don't feel any of those.
No, I think we're more on track with like a Meryl Streep or a Dame Judi Dench or
someone that's got that class. I don't mean that they're not classy, but there's, you know, that kind of woman of substance.
Yeah.
Woman of substance.
Yeah. Paltrow maybe has an energy around her, I hate to say, but
who?
Gwyneth Paltrow. You know, that's sort of the energy. It's like, and I know she's got a lot of stuff she's had to deal with, but you know, hopefully it's not her because she does a lot with Goop and all those things. But yeah,
exactly.
It's that kind of energy though. It's like a classy sort of. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I guess we'll see. Stay tuned.
Oh my goodness! I hope we're wrong on that one. I do.
I do too, but it does make me feel better that you guys both feel it too. Because when I looked at the channel message, I was like, man, that's like kind of some intense information. And it doesn't feel political either. It definitely feels Hollywood.
No, it doesn't feel political. But the thing is, someone once asked me, well, why do you get it? What's the point? And I said, it's literally because the response to the passing will create a huge spike of energy in the world, of emotion and shock and all those kind of things that create that big vibrant spike. It's like Michael Jackson. The night he did that, I was dreaming of him overdosing with ketamine. So in the morning when the UK heard about it, I was like, overdose, painkillers, definitely. It's definitely right. And so people say, well, how did you know that? It's because it's the following spike. And we obviously sense spikes in the future and spikes obviously in the past as well. And we know it's coming. It's like, I described it as standing at a train station, electricity starts, and you just know that the train's coming. You can't see it yet, and you know it's coming. And then obviously you get the visual of thinking, I know what it is now. It's whoever, you know, passing, or, you know, hurricanes or whatever's happening in the disaster front, which is, again, you know, Gaia, she's got the hump. We've not looked after the planet. And so this is like a year of judgment, I feel, on humanity and the fact that we've really got to start respecting where we live and each other. I think that's what it's all about, because we've lost it.
Well, and this death matches up too with all this Neptune and Pisces energy, and I know there's energy of attack on the planet, and it would feel like an attack if we lost somebody that definitely impacted the globe with their work, who they were. Oh my God, everybody. I hope it's not Nicole Kidman. Jennifer says Wicked Love is saying Angelina.
No, come on, people, don't panic. Don't panic. We're not killing anybody else.
Pin death on someone.
Yeah, no. Hey, Nikki, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How much of our lives do you think is free will, and how much do you think is like destiny or fate?
Wow. I've had this question asked many times, especially from students. It's a difficult one. I remember asking my dad in the spirit world once about this, and he said it's like the underground, you know, like, what's yours called there? The tube. What's yours called there?
Oh, like a subway or
subway,
like a
like a subway. So he said, so you're going to start at one train station and you're going to stop off at certain ones, and then your ultimate destination is where you pass and where you go up. That's part of your soul contract. And he said those landmarks that you arrive at, he said, are solid. They're not going to change. They are going to happen in your life. They are landmarks that you've agreed before you've come down here with your soul guides, and you've agreed that these are the landmarks you're going to experience in your life. And he said to me, and it's really, really interesting, because he said those landmarks will never change. So whatever's going to happen, life altering things in our life. He said, but if you choose the hard way, which is most probably the easier way, he said, you'll end up taking the scenic route. And he said, and you won't get to that definitive time for you to change your life. It'll be harder and it will take longer. He said, but if you perhaps take the more chancier or the more scared, you know, you're more scared of that route, but you're going to just trust the universe, he goes, you'll get there quicker. So he said, so really, apart from those landmark moments in our life, most of it is free will. You know, most of us make a decision. And so this is why it's so important that every opportunity and everything that comes to us in life, we dig deep and we listen with our intuition rather than our head, because that's then when we will know which way to take. So I think there is quite a lot of free will. However, saying this, I do believe, well, I do know for an absolute fact now, that if you are on the wrong path for too long, then you will have one of those landmarks brought to you, because you're just wasting time. So my road accident that happened, when finally, after being horrifically ill, I managed to connect with my main guide, Julianus, he said to me, child, do you honestly think we would have brought all this pain and hurt to you? We had to, because you just were so far off of your path, we couldn't find a way to bring you back. So with my free will, and I knew it, you know it when you're taking the wrong path, don't you? Your ego says, let's do it. And it's like, you're not, this is not going to work out. But your ego's saying, yes, it will, please work out. And it doesn't. And so I realized that a particular landmark, I'd gone like around the world about 6 times and still hadn't got to it, which was changing my life and adopting this this mental positivity and getting rid of all these demons from my past traumas in my life. And they were like, God, is she going to ever get there? And I wasn't. And so they obviously brought the road accident in to stop me in my tracks, strip me bare of everything, every single penny, my home, my job, my career, my friends, my health, everything. And say, right, let's start again, because you're just not learning the lessons we've tried to show you. Your free will has decided not to take the lessons that we're trying to show you where you're going wrong, and you've just wandered off. So I think there is quite a lot of free will we have. But you can see your guides. I can almost see them up there going, please take that one. Please take that choice. But, oh, she hasn't done it. You know, and they keep throwing these opportunities at us. We're like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm too scared. I'm not good enough, or whatever the ego creates that stops us from doing it. And they're like, oh, that was the fast route to a next landmark victory. Oh, my goodness, what are we going to do now? You know, so they're always up there watching and thinking, how are we going to bring her back to where she should be, because she's gone wrong through ego. You know, staying in the wrong relationship, staying in the wrong job, you know, not taking opportunity when it's offered. And so I think there is a lot of free will. And I think the reason for that is we come down here for a human experience. And so if we're always being mollycoddled and, oh, come on, Nikki Allen, let's go along with your guides, what's the point? You know, people say to me, why is life so difficult? Why do we get such hardships? Because we asked for it, because we're so bored in the utopia of the spirit world. After a couple of generations, we're like, you're bored? Yeah, should we go down and have a really crap life on the earth plane? Let's try and remember what it was like to be human again. And the older our soul is, the more that we give ourselves these free will choices, and the more we make all of these obstacles in our life for the human time we're down here this time round. And it's been shown to me so clearly by my guides now. I totally get it. And so because I'm so rubbish at listening to them and making the right decisions, I'm like, let's just give her a road accident and put her in bed for 5 years. She needs to sort herself out. And I did. And I've never been so at one with myself, so spiritually attuned, so connected and aligned. And, you know, before my accident, I was like going around Europe and here demonstrating. I was on television. I was everywhere doing my thing, but I wasn't doing it for myself. And they kept trying to pull me back to work it for myself. And all I was doing out of lack of self-love was I was just pushing it and trying to help everybody else, totally blind to the fact that I needed it myself. And so in the end, that's what they did. They stopped me in my tracks. And yeah, it's frustrating now, because obviously I can't physically get out as much as I want. I can't do as many readings as I want and all the rest of it. But as they predicted back in 2013, you're going to be working a completely different way. So I wouldn't be sitting here now. It's like Sliding Doors film. I wouldn't be sitting here now talking to you beautiful girls if I was still on the old path. I'd be still, well, obviously locked down, but I'd still be doing the theatres and doing telly and just push all the time to try and get myself out there. And now it's whoever is attracted to come and listen to me, whoever's come to attracted to read my books, whatever it is, come. If not, it's fine. And I love to be in that energy and to sit and talk with people across the pond. Love it. Love it. And I'm so coming over there when lockdown comes. I'm going to be visiting all these people. They think I'm fibbing, right? I've been talking to people in Dallas, Texas, and all sorts of places. Mississippi, no, not Mississippi, something like that. And I'm coming over there going, yeah, okay, we'll see you over here at some time. I'm so gonna be knocking on their door and they'll be like, oh my God, Nikki Allen's here. Sorry, can you hear me? I get so excited. I talk very quickly.
Oh,
I bet you're saying,
love
what
it.
did you just say?
I love your story, and it's some interesting similarity because in 2016, my nervous system shorted out, and so I was in bed. I couldn't feel 85% of my body, and and wrote a book about it. So you guys can all read about it because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh wow!
But it's similar to you. Like I was laying, I'll never forget, like laying in bed, and I literally felt like my guides were pinning me to the bed.
Yes.
You have to stay here and figure this out.
And face yourself.
Yes, you have to do this. You cannot do anything anymore, and I keep going through layers and layers of that. I'm still learning and still doing that shadow work, but
yeah,
I totally resonate with what you're saying. Like there just comes this point where it's like, okay, you have to make a decision to heal yourself, to take care of yourself, and to do what feels right for you. And it's so hard because you get caught back up in like what you want to do and where you want to go and how you want to use your gifts. And then you get reined back in again and said, okay, I'm pinning you back down to the ground.
Yeah.
Sit there and look. So what you're
absolutely
saying.
Right. Yeah, sorry, and it's like the lockdown. I think this is why we're kind of pushing people down to start looking at themselves and realizing what their lives are like. You're going to get more weddings and more divorces than ever because people are either going to realize how much you're in love with someone or realize how much they can't stand them. There's going to be massive life-altering decisions made because humanity has lost this ability to connect in with source and know what's right for their path. And I think, this is like a mass lockdown like we had, the two of us, Lisa. It's like you literally, here you are. This is what you need to face. You need to do some shadow work. Our shadow self is so brilliantly, it's like Fort Knox. It is hidden away and nobody wants to tap that baby. Nobody wants to go and, I can't think of the word. No one wants to poke the bear, Nobody wants to go near their shadow self, but I'm feeling a lot more people are forced to look at it. And I get lots of people emailing me saying about their dreams of dreaming of past trauma and dreaming of things that they don't want to face. What's happening to me? I'm going mad. No, you're not. You're healing. Listen to it. Do your shadow work and start getting rid of this stuff that is holding you down so heavily to free you up to make better choices with your free will. And I think it's a massive wake up for humanity. And I'm really glad it's happened. I remember the first lockdown. I lived literally across the beach. I ordered this. They taught me cosmic ordering and all sorts during my 5 years. And so I ordered this place by the beach. I walked across the beach and I just sat there. I was on my own on the beach with my two little dogs. And there were no planes in the sky polluting it. There was nobody throwing wrappers and holiday makers wrecking our beach and all the rest of it, And I just thought, my goodness. Well done, whoever, orchestrated this, well done. It's horrific, don't get me wrong, that people are passing because of this horrific pandemic. However, there is a reset going on. And that's what I feel and that's what I sense. And I just think everybody needs to take a breath, including the planet. Let's get cleansing, let's get sorted and let's start running this. Otherwise, we're not going to last. We're going to just crash and burn in like 50 years, if not. And that's how I've seen it. That's how I've seen it. It's amazing you had that same experience. I'd like to read your book, actually.
Oh, my God. We'll have to talk offline for sure because there's a lot of similarities I can tell already. And
wow.
We're going to talk about John Bonet. We're going to talk about forensic mediumship. Do you want to stay with us? And I don't know if you're familiar with John Bonet, but do you want to stay on with us?
No, but forensic mediumship sounds fab. If you don't mind, I'd love to.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, everybody. love that shit.
We're so professional.
I thought, God, they've muted me already. I've spoke too much.
No. So JonBenet Ramsey was mysteriously murdered inside of her home in Colorado. She was a child beauty pageant queen contestant. And there's been a lot of investigation over the last few decades. There's different theories about, who did it or what happened. And, people watching live, if you have an idea or a theory that you want to put into the comments, please go ahead and start commenting. Lisa and I have both taken a fresh look at this, and Nikki may have some downloads that start coming in. But Lisa, you said that you had an experience that happened. Do you want to share that first?
Yeah, for sure. I tried to pull up her picture. It's teeny, but that's as much as I could get for everybody. It was a really sad, and for everybody who knows, I'm a native to Colorado. I was here when this happened, and it happened in Boulder, Colorado. And so it was a really intense experience as a medium, being in the vicinity of this horrific unsolved murder mystery. And yeah, so I have a weird paranormal story for you guys. So Dallisa and I were talking about this. We were talking about, looking at this energy. And so the other day I was telling my mom, I said, I'm going to go look at this energy. And we were talking about it, what we thought happened, because my mom, I'm multi-generational. My mom's also a psychic medium. So we were kind of talking about it, and I hung up the phone, and the paranormal stuff. So I want to give just a titch bit of context, if you ladies don't mind, because I've had something happen. It happened on September 11th of last year of 2020, in which I no longer have I'm not experiencing mediumship the way that I was. I would connect with people who passed away, and it's kind of like playing charades, and you have these connections, and there's no more separation for me. It's like they're just here with me, and I can see and feel their transitions, to the point that I told my husband the other day, I said, I feel like I'm swimming in death. And it's not a bad thing, but it's just very clear to me that it's like this multi-dimensional experience, and it's so complex. And I even let my clients know, most of you guys know, if you want to get in with me, do it this month, because I'm going to take a couple months off to sort this out, because some things are changing. So I've had an excess of paranormal experiences in the last few months because this change has occurred. So here's what happened, and this is creepy, and Dallisa doesn't even know about this because we haven't been able to talk about it. So I hung up the phone with my mom, and I was thinking about JonBenet. She was a sweet girl. I mean, she was a sweet girl. She had a sweet face. And I really felt her. And oh my God, even talking about it, shit, man. I really feel her sadness and her fear. And what happened was, I was standing in the kitchen. I was home alone, which with a husband and 4 kids never happens. But it just happened that I was home alone. And all of a sudden, I felt extreme terror. And I heard 2 men's voices talking, clairaudiently, but it was like they were in the room, and it sounded like they were in my basement. And I was like, there are 2 men in my basement. And I was so physically afraid that I called my husband. I said, there are men in the basement of our house. And I said, I don't know if it's spirits or what's happening, but something is happening right now. And I need you to come home. I was like, you need to come home right now, because I can't even be in my house. And I don't even know how to leave. I was frozen solid. And so I hung up. He was like, I'll come home. So I hung up the phone, and then I heard it again. And I went into my bedroom. I heard it in the basement, but then I went into my bedroom, and I could still hear them talking. And that's when I knew, okay, this is definitely spirit language. This is not in my house. But I was absolutely terrified, panic-stricken for 2 hours after that. My husband came home. I made him go check all the rooms. And it afterwards, it didn't even dawn. I didn't even make the connection with thinking about JonBenet even until the next day. And I was like, oh my God, I was thinking of her. And I'm certain that was her experience. I am certain she heard these men's voices in the basement and went down there. So that's what I know. I know she was petrified. She went down to those voices in that basement, and then whatever happened. And I can't even see it because I don't think I want to see it. But it was crazy. I mean, I haven't felt that kind of panic in I don't even know how long. And so it was really, really intense. So that was what happened to me. And those voices were loud. I mean, that was physical hearing. That was definitely not like, there's a different sound when it's different, right? This was like full on, I'm hearing these voices. I know there's two men and they're talking. It was freaky.
Can I just say something just to add to the synchronicity? I don't know if you know this, but do you know that I was a police detective before I was a police officer, and I investigated murders, and I actually have a column in a magazine called The Psychic Detective, and I investigate cold case murders, most of them in the US.
Wow.
But I can't believe this. This is my cup of tea. I know exactly what you mean. The Moors murderers over here, I don't know if you know about Brady and Hindley, you know, that they absolutely created mass horror because they were a couple that both worked together in abducting young children, raping them, killing them, and then dumping them on the moors. I think there were 7 victims in the end, and it was just a sick buzz for them, basically. It was a huge thing. And I was asked to do, funny enough, a director from over there in Hollywood asked me to come and do this called The Desolate Landscape, a program on trying to find the last body that's never been recovered. So I get it, because they took me to an estate, a housing estate, and the house is even smashed down. I didn't know anything about the area. Didn't even know what I was doing there. They didn't even tell me. They basically said, we want you to do this. We're not telling you a thing. They never confirmed anything. Best mediumship I ever did. I don't think I'll ever be able to do it again. And I turned up, and I remember, I know exactly what you mean, Lisa, because I literally got in to this close that they took me and opened the door, and straight away I was violently sick. And I was screaming and hysterical, laying on the curb like a demented person. And I was screaming and begging them to get me out of there. And what they'd done was they just parked in front of where the house used to be, where they used to take the children back. So I know exactly what you mean. So you've literally just gone into this era blending where you have been put into the exact time and date of what happened there. That's what's happened to you. And I thought there were 2 men. I just think it's very close to home, this one. Like that the family would have known one of the men, definitely would have gone to the pageant, definitely with some sort of paedophilic type energy going on there as well. And I think the ransom thing is more a ruse than anything. To be honest with you, I think there was a note or something you said. I think you said that, didn't you?
We didn't say it, but there was one.
Yeah.
Oh. Was there? No.
Oh yeah. No, you're right on target. So I have oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I did a video on it a few years back with the psychic medium Sam Rodman. It's on the YouTube on Spirit and Spark TV. And it's one of my the most watched videos on my entire channel. People are fascinated with this case, but I tapped in again last night. Again, I was shown, because it's some of the stuff I was talking about in that other video, jingle bells and the holiday party. So it's somebody connected to the family. I feel very strongly that the dad knew this other person. And I heard her say, they got me out of bed that night. So I do feel like either she was awoken or there was some kind of activity in the bedroom that then led to the basement. And she said, my dad knew him. I also heard her say, afraid that I would tell, my death was part of a cover-up, keeping me quiet. He was obsessed. I was like a doll. And I have chills as I say that again. I mean, it was, and I heard from within the house, because there's been a lot of controversy over, did somebody come in, an external, intruder from the outside? And she said, from within the house.
Definitely. And by doing the note, they make it look like they're strangers, and it was just a thwarted attempt to get her away and accidentally killed her, whatever it is. I just feel like that was a ruse. That was to try and get them away from the fact. At the end of the day, we know that a very high percentage of murders, and I know from when I was a detective, I was 20 years in the police, We know that, you know, I think it's about 68, 70% are people you know or your family members. And so, you know, so this isn't just a get out clause to say, oh, yes, it was a family member. I definitely feel that this person would have seen her. And as you say, this little doll to play with, hands down. I can see a really broadly built man, and it's kind of like got red blonde hair, receded back, perhaps freckling on his face, some very tan, very well weathered, big clumpy hands, with blue eyes. He's got like a fair complexion, and I don't know if he's got anything to do with trains or lives near a train line or anything like that, but that's what I kept seeing when you were talking about that just then. And I love them. I love doing them. Obviously, I get ones like Shakespeare, which is a bit, are you kidding me? I got to find out who killed Shakespeare or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, wow, okay then. But some of the more recent ones, and that's how I'm learning the geography of the US, because literally most of my cold cases I investigate are in the US.
Wow.
Incredible. Wow. Incredible, yeah. So this is totally my ball. This is, oh, I love it. And the problem is that I don't know, you know, how well respected are you over there as psychics? Because I know from being the other side of it as a detective, as soon as, you know, oh, one of those oddballs has phoned up, Nikki, you go and deal with it, it's one of your mental friends kind of thing. And I'm like, really? You know, and then and I've done it before where I've kept quiet, not phoned, you know, the incident room, and then watched it play out exactly how I saw it. You know, and even if you do phone in, they're like, yeah, thank you, bye.
Yeah, I have a close immediate family member that's a homicide detective in the same city that I'm in. And I've had 2 crime premonitions. And the first one was a bank robbery. And the second one was a shooting that happened at a Target store. And
wow.
The first time it happened, I call my family member and I'm like, here's what happened. What do you want me to do? And he says, oh, just call the anonymous tip line. I'm like, all right. So I did that. And then the second time I just made a YouTube video and told the story. But it's like, you know, what do you do?
Exactly. There's nothing you can do about it at all. Nothing you can do. You know, it's like even with the disasters, isn't it? I remember, I think it was about a week before Hurricane Katrina when New Orleans, when, you know, the sharks I dreamt that I was in New Orleans walking down the main street and there were sharks swimming past me. And I'm thinking, is it symbolic? You know, is it something to do? And then it happens and there's nothing you can do. But, you know, if you tell them, they can't change it. And like, you know, when you phone up and I say, look, you know, I remember that we had a serial murderer that was killing a load of prostitutes here. And funny enough, the woman who was in charge of it, who was in charge of the whole police force, she was my PE teacher when I was a kid. And then we ended up working together in the police. And she rose up through the ranks. I was too naughty. And plus, I loved just being an on-the-ground detective, homicide detective. And I phoned her up and said, look, I know you're going to think this is weird, but this is where he lives. This is what he does. This is the area. And she said, how do you know about that? I told you that, thinking that I was talking to people, you know, my old colleagues who were giving me the information. I said, no, I haven't spoken to anybody. I'm telling you, I know this because I can see it in my head. And again, it didn't go anywhere. And it was so frustrating because when they eventually arrested this man, you know, his first name I'd said, where he worked, where he dropped his wife off, the road name, the description of his house with the conifers out the front, the type of car he drove, didn't listen to any of it. And it could have saved at least 3 or 4 of the girls.
Oh my God.
What do you do? It's so frustrating, isn't it? It's so frustrating. And obviously you must know about the Madeleine McCann, you know, the girl, you know.
So yeah, sorry to cut you off. We're actually going to talk about Madeleine McCann, Amelia Earhart, and the JFK assassination.
I didn't meet Earhart.
Oh, did you? So, oh my God. I hope you're available because I want you to be one of the mediums on this, but we're doing it March 23rd. It's absolutely free for people to tune in live. We're going to broadcast it on YouTube. And we're going to look at those 3 cases, and then viewers can ask their questions live. But we're going to look at those 3 and weigh in on what information, what we think. So save your Amelia Earhart story because I want you to come on that and be one of the mediums with us. That's March 23rd. Yeah. It's going to be late your time, but it's at noon Pacific.
Okay. So that's
so late.
8 o'clock. 7 p.m., isn't it here?
8 maybe? Yeah. So I'll send you the info.
That's okay. I'll be in my PJs and have my cocoa.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I'd love to do that. That would be great. Thank
This
you.
has been such a treat. Like, I can't believe we're already out of time, you guys, and this has been so fabulous. I want to go round robin, though, each one of us to share how folks can find you, get a hold of you. We'll start with you, Nikki.
Sorry, say that again. I was thinking of Amelia.
Just share how folks can find you, share what your YouTube channel is, share all that information. I love it so much.
I was just going over the visions I had with Amelia Earhart. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, I love it.
You can find me. Are you asking where to find me?
Yes.
Sorry, I was off with Amelia Earhart.
It's all right, we get it.
You can find me if you just put Nikki Allen. It's NICKYALAN for my YouTube channel. It's www.nikkiallen.co.uk. To be honest with you, if you just put Nikki Allen Psychic in on the Google, you'll find all of my social media sites there, hopefully. And I just want to say, girls, thank you so much. And also, thank you for all the tribe that have come over from my internal to come and say hi. I couldn't see any of your comments, so don't think I've ignored you, but thanks for coming, tribe.
Yeah, you've had a lot of people say how much they love you, which I'm so happy, because now we'll have you on March 23rd and we'll welcome everybody back, and it'll be so much fun. Yeah.
Oh, let me plug this.
Oh, yeah.
Self-and-I. That is my journey.
Oh, perfect.
Available at Amazon.com.
I love it. Yeah. And I'm Dallisa, spiritandspark.com, Spirit and Spark TV on YouTube. Yeah, lots of stuff going on. Excited that we could all do this today, and then coming back on the 23rd, and we'll have a couple of other mediums join us as well. So it'll be a good collective group of people weighing in on the different questions and cases. So it'll be really fun. Yeah, and then after Elisa talks, I'll come back with a soul to soul question. Sound good?
Sounds good to me. Okay. And yeah, you guys
picking stinky stuff.
So yeah, you guys can find me here on YouTube. The Buddhist Biohacker YouTube is my channel. So you guys can join me here. We have all sorts of incredible content on Buddhist Biohacker. So please subscribe if you haven't already. And for those of you who just joined my YouTube membership, our very first mediumship live stream for members will be coming up in 2 weeks. So look for that. And then my website's Lisa M. Gunshore. And same thing, if you Google Lisa M. Gunshore, you'll find all sorts of information that I probably don't even know what you'll find, but it's all there. So that's how you find me. And yeah, let's do soul to soul really quick.
Perfect. Okay, so the Soul to Soul segment is a thing that we do at the end of the show just to give you a question to ponder for the week ahead. The one I selected for this week is, if you could trade places with anyone for one day only, who would you trade places with, and why would you select that person? So think about it. I'll post the question over in Lisa's Ajatakasha app. So if you want to participate in the conversation, we'll do that over there. And yeah, we'll be back again next Thursday, same time. And then check out Nikki Allen and the Buddhist Biohacker and Spirit and Spark TV on YouTube, because we have lots of content in between.
Yes, I love it so much. And yes, don't forget about the app, you guys. We have our own social media app. I built it for us. It's non-violent, non-decisive or divisive. No algorithms, no ads. Just look up Ajatakasha on your Google or Play Store or App Store. Okay. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you for having me, girls. It's been an absolute pleasure. God bless you.
I'm going to email you the March